let me get us live on YouTube.
Okay, are we live now?
We are live. Let me bring Mary in. She's logged on.
Ah, excellent.
And all right, we have James Harmon as an attendee, but I'm going to leave him there until public comment. All right, Abe, you're ready.
Okay. Let's call this meeting to order, and the time will be 4:32. There you go, Melissa. And the first thing that we will do is a roll call, and I'm going to leave our new board member to last, but just so she can take a little bit more time. But I'll start myself. My name is Abe Martinez. I am the chair of the library board. I have been here, gosh, what did I figure out the other day? I don't know, something like 9 years. Anyway, been a member here for a while. And what else? I guess that's basically it. I just need the rest of you to say who you are, what your position is being in this meeting. And if you're on the board or work for Snow Isle or something like that, then just let us know how long you've been around and doing that kind of thing. Okay. And Kelly, go ahead. I want you to start off. Whoops.
Me, huh?
Yeah, we need to know who you are. Go ahead.
All right. I am Kelly Chellin, and I'm a city clerk for the city of Lake Stevens. And I've been here about 18 months and enjoying every minute of it. I'm a resident of Lake Stevens, and my kids go to school here, and I'm excited to staff this board. So here I am.
All right. You know, that's the first time I didn't know that you were a resident here. That's great to know.
15 years. So I love Lake Stevens.
Cool. All right. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to move around as to who's on my screen in order. So Leanne, why don't you go?
Hi, I'm Leanne Balberana. I'm on the library board. This is my second meeting serving for this term. And I've been a resident in Lake Stevens here for 19 years. My kids have gone to schools here, one left in the school district, and happy to be here and support the library and library lovers of Lake Stevens.
All right, wonderful. Antoinette, you're up next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Antoinette Morales Tanner. I am the library manager at the Lake Stevens branch, and I've been here for about 4 months.
There we go. All right, wonderful. And Lindsay?
Hi, everyone. I'm Lindsay Hansen. I'm a district manager at Snow Isle Libraries. I've been at Snow Isle for almost 12 years now. So happy to be here supporting Antoinette and seeing all of you again. And welcome, Joanne. Very exciting to have a new member.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Shaylin?
Hi, I'm Shaylin. I have been on the library board for, I believe it's 16 years now. And I've been a resident of Lake Stevens for 19. So that's pretty much all I do is library stuff. I'm a librarian at a school and spend a lot of time at Snow Isle. So thank you very much. And I'll send it to the next person.
Okay, well, she didn't say that she used to be the chair of this fine organization here, this board. So, and held that position for, I don't know how many years, at least a couple of terms. So anyway, she's done an awful lot for this organization, for libraries in general. So anyway, much to give her thanks for. All right, Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa Maffio. I think this is my third year, second meeting of being the secretary. Hopefully it will be a little easier this time, less notes. I have lived in Lake Stevens for 3 years. I love it, love the community. I work in Seattle. I'm in commercial real estate. And I just also am doing UW Business School through UW Bothell. getting my master's certification.
Wow. Okay. And then we ask you to be the secretary of this fine, as if you didn't have enough to do. Okay.
That's okay. Keep me busy. Keep me out of trouble, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's it. All right. Russ, we don't see your face, but I do want you to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Russ Wright. I'm the Community Development Director at Lake Stevens. I've worked here for 11 years this April and have been sort of serving as a staff liaison to the library board this last year. So happy to be here.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Mary Dickinson. Nobody knows Mary, right? No, we've never heard. Go ahead, Mary.
I'm Mary Dickinson. I'm on, and you can hear me, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good. Okay. First of all, I just want to quick say, Shaylin Bates sets the bar, President or Chairman Martinez. So watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
She's pretty amazing. But I'm on City Council, and the library is my main passion. And anybody who knows me knows that about me. And I am really excited about what the next steps will be. I can't wait to see what you have to share with me today. Thank you.
That's right. Now, you are the City Council liaison still,
I
right?
am. I'm City Council liaison. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right. And Helen?
Hi, everyone. My name is Helen Taylor. This is my second year as a library board member, and it's been really fun to be a part of this. Back to you, Abe.
All right. And Andy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm a library board member. I think I've been on the board as I came on right after Abe. So I don't know, 6, 5, 8 years, something like that. Anyway, I live in Lake Stevens and yeah, proud to serve.
You know, we're going to have to look that up, Andy, to find out how long we have been on this board, since we just kind of throw up numbers. Anyway, all right. Let's see. Emily. Can you?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. Hi, I'm Emily Steinbeck. I'm a board member. I've been on the board for, I think, 3 years. I've lived in Lake Stevens for 21 years. And I currently am a teacher in the Lake Stevens School District. So I'm going to be traveling, so pardon the off camera, but I really enjoy being on this board. As a teacher, I think reading is a very critical skill. So I enjoy getting to spread that information. Thanks.
All right. Excellent.
Abe, I just wanted to mention you've been on since 2012 and Andy's been on since 2013, according to my notes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah, really does. So thank you for looking that up. That's neat to know. All right. 10, yes. Excellent. All right. So Melissanack, if you can let us know.
Hello. Oops.
We'll
fix that. There we go.
Okay.
Hi. I'm Melissanack. I've been on the Friends of the Library board since 2015, and I took over as president in 2016. And we've been in Lake Stevens for about 16 years now. Really enjoy this community and so happy to be working with the library. I'll be president for this last year, I think, and I'm going to try and hand off president to someone else next year. So I put the word out in our meeting this month, and hopefully we get some takers. They have plenty of time to talk to me and ask questions.
Yeah. So yeah. Another invaluable asset to this community because of a number of different things she has done.
Thank you.
Not only through the Friends of the Library, but all kinds of community involvement. And so anyway, Melissanack.
We'll see how things go. Maybe it'll change, but right now I think I might need a little space. You know.
I hear you. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So you'll have a report for us a little later on. And I'm sure. Okay.
I will.
Well, good. And now our newest board member, Joanne, would you like to introduce yourself, your first and last name? Tell us a bit about your background and what you do.
Okay. My name is Joan Van Leuven, and I've lived in Lake Stevens for 22 years. I grew up in Snohomish County, but I've been gone for lots of years in between. 3 of my kids graduated from Lake Stevens High School, and now I have some grandkids, which are lots of fun. I have a wonderful husband, and I'm excited to serve on the board.
There we go. Excellent. So yeah, as I mentioned, everybody in the email, we had 3 wonderful candidates. I wish that all 3 could have joined, but we weren't in a position to expand our board, so that wasn't going to happen. But anyway, in a way, I was really glad that with Joanne not having been involved in something like this, I thought, let's expand the family, so to speak, and bring in new people who have not been involved with library stuff. So I'm just really thrilled that Joanne wants to give her time and be part of this. So anyway, oh yeah, absolutely. All right, so the next thing is that Kelly will need to swear in our new board member. So Kelly, you take it away.
All right, Joanne, are you ready?
I am ready.
Hopefully this is pretty painless. I'll put it up on the screen so you can read along.
Okay.
Can you guys see this oath of office?
I see it.
Okay, great. Joanne, do you see it?
I do.
Okay, so you'll raise your right hand and you'll repeat after me. So I state your name.
I, Joan Van Leuven,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and state of Washington
and state of Washington
and the ordinances of the city of Lake Stevens,
and the ordinances of the city of Lake Stevens,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge the duties of library board member
perform and discharge the duties of library board member
according to the law
according to the law
and to the best of my ability and understanding.
and to the best of my ability and understanding.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. There we go.
Yay.
It's official.
Yay. Woohoo.
Yep. Yay.
All right, so there we go. Now we want to move to the approval of the minutes. And as we were discussing if you've read the minutes for the last one, there was a question as to whether or not we actually had a motion and a second. And if you recall, I was actually in our last meeting, I wanted to move quickly through all of that kind of thing, and in the future, I'd like to. I've been told by Kelly that that this would be okay to just do this by unanimous consent. Unless somebody has a problem with it, I'd like to continue to move that way. So, number 1 would be: does anybody have? I mean, I assume everyone has had time to read through the minutes from the last meeting. If you have any changes or concerns, you can voice them now. Otherwise, well, let me just give you a moment to let us know and let Melissa know about it, more importantly. Are there any changes? Nothing?
Melissa, I just want to note, I think I had made a note in the minutes asking you if there had been a first and a second to the approval of the minutes. I would just remove my note. That was my note to you in parentheses. So just I'll show you, I can go over it with you after the
Okay, great. Okay, thank you.
So in other words, that note is not part of the minutes.
Right. Right.
Okay,
It was my question to Melissa when I was looking through her minutes. So
okay, so what you can do as you're resubmitting that without that note in there, just say approved upon unanimous consent, or however it would be.
Yeah.
So since we have hearing no objections to the January minutes, they are approved by unanimous consent. And that's all we have to do. There we go. New business. Now we have to get to the changes to the bylaws. Now, do you want to put that up on the screen, Kelly? I don't know that matters. I distributed them to everyone.
I'm happy to. Give me just a minute. Let me pull them up.
Okay. And the reason for this is that we actually approved through both motion and second on all the changes, the individual changes, but we didn't do an approval to accept as a unit. In other words, to say we accept the bylaws as amended. So I would like to do that this time for two reasons. First, because we didn't the last time, so let's make it legal. And number two, since we've had a change in membership, this will allow each of the new members to sign. Okay, there you go. So the original just had that line in there, as you see in orange or red, whatever it is. And then you see as amended, then this was approved, remember? So unless there's a reason to change that at this meeting, we've already accepted and approved that change there at the top about, which allows us to have virtual meetings via Zoom or whatever, as well as the fact that we also added in there if requested by a board member. That was the second thing. In other words, had we met live tonight, we did have a request from a board member that they be able to meet virtually, via Zoom or some other form. And so we would have made that possible. So that's the only change there. And then I added the part about notice of details for the meeting will be delivered and all that kind of thing. So that part, again, we voted on it. It's been accepted. Unless somebody has other comment about it tonight. Go ahead. Somebody say something? No? Okay. So we have voted on that. It was accepted. Let's scroll down a little bit more. There's a very simple one that had to be taken, and it was just professional counsel right there. There was two others. I'm sorry. The professional counsel, this was just upon the request from Snow Isle that we say the managing librarian or another designated representative of Snow Isle Libraries will attend the board meetings in an advisory capacity. They thought it was the best wording. That's fine. We all voted. We accepted. Again, unless somebody has a good reason to change that, we'll go with it. And then finally, the thing about the agenda, we do not vote on the agenda because the agenda is created beforehand. It doesn't make sense to try to do that. So we voted to accept striking that since it's unworkable. It wasn't a way that we could do it, especially given the fact that we just meet quarterly. So all those changes being accepted already, is there a motion to accept the bylaws as amended? Will anybody make a motion for that?
I make a motion to accept the bylaws as amended.
Okay, there you go. So Helen has done so. Is there a second?
I second that motion.
Okay, Leanne makes a second. Okay, all those in favor say aye, either by saying it or raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, there we go. Those opposed? And there you go. All right, so it carries unanimously. So we are good to go. All right, I'm glad that's done. Now, Kelly will make provision for either electronic signatures or have us go down to City Hall to actually physically sign these. But each of us as board members will have to sign. But again, Kelly, I'll leave that to you in terms of how that's to be done. Okay? All right, there we go. So they will be accepted. You'll have access to them at the next meeting. There we go. All right, let's move to new business, to reports. There we go. Why don't we start with Melissa? You have a friend's report, so I'll let you go.
I'll try and make it quick.
Okay.
I'm going to start by saying, once COVID hit and the library moved and Aquafest is different, we are restructuring the Friends group right now. I had a conversation about this a little bit with Antoinette and let her know that everything we're doing right now is new, really. When it comes down to it, all of our fundraising is different. So I'm going to try and be quick going through the things I want to tell you about. I'm going to start with our quarterly book sale. We're going to start doing quarterly book sales rather than the Aquafest book sale. So no more Aquafest book sale. Sorry, Shaylin, I know you're going to miss that. So we'll be having quarterly book sales. They'll be held on Fridays and Saturdays. Our first one is on April 29th and 30th. That's 10:30 to 5:30 on each day. Right now, we've had a pretty good turnout for signups. There's just a few holes left, and I'm going to fill in some of those and put an email out to the Friends members to see if they want to come and work a shift. We're only doing 2 people per shift because the book sale is in the library meeting room. And then at the end of the year, any books that haven't sold, we'll do a big pickup, kind of like we used to do with Discover Books at Aquafest. So if anyone is a friend member here and hasn't signed up and wants to, I can resend that email out. I think I've seen Shaylin on the sign up. I've seen Mary there. I think James is on the sign up as well. Let's see, next. We officially have a fundraising chair. Dana Bittinger has volunteered to help us raise funds for special furnishings for a new library. We don't want to put out there that we're going to buy this furniture for the library, because right now is what's available right now might not be available when the new library is built. And we really need to collaborate with Snow Isle on what we can provide and the best way to do that and how it best fits into the space. But we will start kind of a fund for special furnishings that will go toward the new library once it's opened. We are going to have a Mod Pizza fundraiser on May 19th. So if anyone likes Mod Pizza, May 19th would be a great day to go in and get some pizza and mention the Friends group. Their fundraisers changed a little bit. They used to go through group raise to sign up for fundraisers. And then after our Friends meeting, I went in and I found out that Mod Pizza only schedules through their own website now with fundraisers. And I think that'll probably be beneficial. We'll be getting the word out about that after our book sale. We really want to push the word on the book sale right now. We are looking into the farmers market this summer, but that's kind of, I don't know, it's expensive for us to be there for the amount of money we would make. We think we would actually lose money paying for a space to be there. If something happens and the city comes up with a nonprofit space that's available for free, we might try it out once and see how it goes. Also, I think one of our quarterly book sales might fall during a farmers market week. So maybe we move it to the farmers market Wednesday and Thursday or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We are going to continue the Advent book sales. That's going to make up for the Aquafest, for not participating in Aquafest. So the Advent book sales this year, we're going to start them in mid-October, we're going to start them in August. Mid-August, we're going to start the sales, and we're going to cut them off mid-October so we have enough time to wrap all the books. Because I mean, we sold almost 2,000 books. It was crazy. We made a lot of money off of it, and we're also going to offer an opportunity for people to sponsor a family or to sponsor books to go to a certain place. I guess the Family Center now has a little library because of the Advent sales that we did. We had people donate Advent books to the Family Center last year, and now they have a library. So I think that's really great. All right, I'm going to tell you money and then I'll be done. So our year-to-date income right now is $1,027.76. Really, all we're being asked to provide is $1,200. So we're getting really close to our actual goal for the library this year. We also have to pay for a storage unit, but we'll get there. Right now in our checking account, we have $11,032.99. And with that amount in our checking, we're going to pull $7,000 of that and put it into our CD that's maturing in May. Currently, that CD has $10,500. And we just figure moving it into that CD is going to be so much better than just sitting in the checking account. So that'll up that. And then we're going to change that CD to a 2-year CD so that we have 2 rolling CDs that mature every other year. I think that is about it.
All right.
Any questions?
Any questions? Wow.
I have a question. Donating books, do they take them out the library or?
Yeah, we do. We have a space to take books now at the library. Yeah, that opened up. I think it was it March? April or March, we were able to start taking books. If you know anyone that has a large donation, we'd like to be contacted though, because we don't have a lot of storage space at the library, but we do still have the storage unit. Yeah, there's a tub in the book nook like there used to be.
Yeah. Good work. And by the way, at some point, I'd love to meet Dana. I emailed.
Her husband's
done some amazing work. So anyway, that's pretty cool. So
her husband's in law enforcement and he's extremely busy lately with some of the horrible things going on. So I haven't even gotten to talk to her lately, but yes, you need to meet her for sure.
Yeah, good.
Everybody should meet Dana. Helen, do you have a question?
Yeah, I thought Helen.
I do have a question. Well, first I want to say tremendous work. Agree that that the admin, the whole admin sale was really amazing last year. I thought that it was kind of focused on children. So is that still the case? Or is it kind of all ages? Just wondering in terms of like the book donations that we do.
Oh, we can take any book donations now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. The only thing we don't take is textbooks, encyclopedias. That's about it. Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
Uh-huh.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Just for the spelling of Dana's last name. I'm not sure.
Bittiner.
Thank you.
No problem.
Okay. And by the way, Melissa, Mafio, I'm sorry, a note here, my bad. You can just put a note. Candace Barlow did let me know she was not going to be able to be here, so she is an excused absence. So please put that in the in attendance area. You don't have to add the note that I put this, unless you want to make me look bad, which of course is fine. But anyway, so she is an excused absence. Okay. Thank you very much for the Friends report. Now,
no problem.
Library from the managing librarian, Snow Isle, whoever would like to speak on behalf of the libraries. I will put it to you, Antoinette.
I can go first. I know that Lindsay has some stuff that she wants to talk about, but I've got quite a few things that have happened. We've had a really busy quarter, so I will try to go through it fairly quickly, but also not too quickly. We'll try to strike the right pace. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the launch of the school readiness cards. The Lake Stevens School District launched school readiness cards on March 2nd, which means that every student in the school district now receives a library card automatically using their student ID. This is an amazing partnership. We're so excited about this because it also means that accessing all of Snow Isle's resources, print and electronic, is really seamless. That means that teachers can sign up for a digital card. Students can use online homework help. They can use our electronic resources. They can integrate a lot of those resources teachers can integrate a lot of those resources into their own classroom lesson plans. So it's really a wonderful way to support the school district and our very overworked teachers. So Snow Isle sent out promotional materials and information to families. We hosted a couple of training sessions for school district librarians on how they can get teachers connected and students connected, and it's just been a wonderful partnership. Snow Isle also has recently purchased an additional 50 laptops and hotspots, which check out together as a complete kit. Before it was laptops and hotspots separately. Now we have this additional kind of kit package. And in response to demand, the loan periods for those devices are now 3 weeks instead of 1 week. And so that's wonderful for folks who don't have internet access or who might have limited internet access. They can check out the hotspot and laptop for 3 weeks at a time. Another one of our fantastic partnerships has been with the Snohomish County Health District. We have partnered with them to provide at-home rapid COVID-19 tests, both at the library and to several community partners. So we distributed to the Boys and Girls Club, the Lake Stevens Food Bank, the Senior Center, Lake Stevens Allies for BIPOC, and Volunteers for America. And so all of those have been getting regular deliveries of the at-home COVID-19 tests for distribution. And when they run out, they just let me know and I drop off some more. We also have them available at the library. If anybody needs one, they can just come grab them. They're right by the door. This quarter, we also launched a partnership with the Lake Stevens Senior Center to host one-on-one tech assistance. We are sending one of our fantastic library associates, Adam. He goes twice a month on the first and third Wednesdays to do one-on-one technology assistance for folks. And that's helping them from everything to, setting up their iPad, getting their ebooks downloaded, to finding knitting patterns online and printing those out. So we're really doing full service out there. And one of the fantastic benefits of this has also been, it's really given us an opportunity to talk to folks at the Senior Center about the services that are happening at the library. So we've also seen an increase in Snow Isle's Book a Librarian service, where folks can book a librarian at the library for that one-on-one assistance too. So if they couldn't get an appointment at the Senior Center, they can always come down to the library to get that help. We also have seen the easing of health restrictions, which is really exciting, trying to get back to that normal feeling that we're all really eager for. And so toys, crafts, and in-person programs are going to be rolling out. We have a toy section that we've expanded just in the last couple of weeks. And have added some interactive coloring sheets and crafts, which the kids are really loving. And we're starting to plan in-person programming, which will start in June. I wanted to highlight a couple of other sort of Snow Isle system-wide things that are really exciting. And I just used this myself. It was fantastic. But in January, we launched the Discover Pass program. So you can check out a Discover Pass to be used on the lands managed by the Washington State Parks, the Washington State Department of Natural Resources, and the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. I just put one on hold and checked it out over the weekend, and it saved me $20 in parking fees. So it was fantastic, and it's free, and your library has it. So I really encourage you all of you to really think about your summer travel plans as the weather gets better. We've got those Discover Passes for you at Snow Isle. And lastly, I wanted to highlight the STARS training series that we're doing, because I think this is really something wonderful, especially for the Lake Stevens community, because there are so many early child caregivers in the community. So STARS training, STARS is a Washington State mandated training program for childcare providers. It's a career development system designed to improve childcare through basic and ongoing training. And Snow Isle provides a series of free virtual STARS training. So folks can sign up for free and get STARS credit for attending those courses. So it's really a wonderful community resource that we're able to provide. I do have some just general building updates. So that was programming and outreach, and now moving on to building updates. And so meeting rooms and study rooms are now open for reservation at the library. The Friends just hosted their meeting in person at the library. They were our first official meeting room reservation. It was very exciting. You can book those open March 14th, and you can book those by calling the library or stopping by. We have done some shelving changes over the last couple of weeks. We've rearranged our newspaper and magazine shelving to help customers find those newspapers and magazines a little bit easier. They were spread out throughout the library and we weren't quite seeing the usage that we wanted to see. Now they're all shelved together, which is really helpful. I think it really highlights all of, especially the children's magazines, which were getting a little bit lost in the shelves. We've also moved the holds. So when you walk into the library, the first shelf you see is now new books, and the holds are a little bit off to the side. So that gives a little more space for folks who are picking up a lot of holds to maneuver. So they're not trying to kind of maneuver around people who are trying to browse in a different section, and it puts all of our new books together, which is really nice too. I did want to highlight this month's artist exhibit. So for April, we're featuring David Board. He's one of the founders of Stage 2 Interactive, which is a company based in Snohomish that develops science-themed apps and games. David presented a program in November 2021 with Snow Isle, and he's featuring his art here at the library. He has some really incredible space photography. If you haven't been down to the library to see it yet, I really encourage you to do that before the end of the month. They're really beautiful images. And then finally, I wanted to highlight the new signage that has gone up at the new Chapel Hill site for the library. We've added 2 new signs letting folks know that's the future site of the Lake Stevens Library. And we added a Hello Neighbor informational flyer, which is in like a real estate flyer box there at the site as well. Our focus for the next several months will be to continue to engage with the community for insight and feedback, provide updates via a dedicated website, newsletter, and email address. And that email address goes to several people. So you're definitely going to get an answer. I get the emails, so you know, we'll definitely be able to respond. So if you have any questions about that, I encourage you to use it and to sign up for that electronic newsletter. And we're just going to keep continuing community conversations to ensure that public input remains central to the building process. And if it's okay, I can transition over to Lindsay and she can give us some more details on the new library site.
That would be good. Let me just ask, just because there was a lot covered there.
It was a lot.
So I want to give our members a chance if they have some questions related to what you just said. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Anybody have questions before we move on to Lindsay? Anything? Okay, I may have one. I'm sorry. The 50 laptops and the hotspots, that's system-wide, correct?
Yes, in addition to the ones that we already have. So it was 50 additional.
Additional, okay. One of the things, the school readiness card, is that something that's unique to Snow Isle, or is this that sounds like a cool thing. I've not heard of it, but I was thinking other school districts and systems may have that. Does anybody know about that? Whether that's something?
Some other public libraries do that. It's a direct, sorry, Antoinette.
No, go ahead.
I was looking at your face. Yeah. So or I saw Shaylin unmute. Maybe Shaylin wants to share, because Snohomish is another school district that we partnered with to do it. But I believe it's something that KCLS does. So there are other public libraries in Washington State, but we're really excited to be rolling that out here in Snohomish and Island counties. So it's a big deal. One of the best parts about it is that the kids' library card access can be given to them at the school. And that's an issue that we ran into a lot with students at the school, is even if they had a card, they sometimes wouldn't be able to, they didn't know what it was, so they wouldn't be able to access it. So it really removes barriers and increases access.
Wonderful. That's good to hear. All right. One last question was just some numbers. I know that the numbers had fallen off quite a bit, obviously with COVID. I mean, basically, however that went. But do we have any numbers in terms of circulation, visitations, any of that kind of stuff? I haven't heard anything one way or the other. If it's not available right now, that's fine. You can get back to us. Anyway, go ahead.
Abe, don't give it away that I had you ask that question to set me up. No.
Oh, good.
I'll be sharing a little bit of that shortly, and we'll have more details coming out soon.
Okay, yeah. That's fine. All right. Any other questions for me? Anybody else before we hand it to Lindsay? Lindsay, take it away.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Kelly, I don't know if you've made me a co-host. I do have just a quick 3-point 3-slide PowerPoint to share. So
I sure did. You're ready to
okay.
go.
Thank you. Before I get into that, though, I know probably what is front of mind for all of us is plans around building the new library. So I don't want to bury the lead. Let's get into it. I'd love to give you the update on what's happening there. So very exciting. On Tuesday of this week, we put out an RFQ for proposals for an architect to help us with the building. So that's very exciting. That will be up for a month. It's accessible on our website. So if you know anybody who might be interested, just refer them to snowisle.org and they can look at it there and submit. So they have a month to submit, and then we'll be reviewing applications in May and making a selection and moving forward. So it's really exciting. This is a big step in our process. So looking forward to figuring out who we're going to work with. The other piece of that is that we are also currently working to schedule a few additional follow-up community conversations. So these will be a little different than what we did with the consultants during the Civic Center process. We want to kind of dig deeper into some of the feedback we heard during those conversations. So not starting from scratch, we're going to use that feedback as a jumping off point to look in a little bit more deeply and kind of check some of our thinking that we're moving forward with, just to make sure that we're going to build the library that the community wants. So that's very exciting. We don't have dates on those yet, but we're hoping for early May, and we'll certainly keep you all in the loop if any of you want to participate or know anybody who does. The last piece before I jump into my PowerPoint is that I wanted to let you know that last week Snow Isle applied to Congresswoman Susan DelBene's office for a $2 million federal grant for a community project funding through the HUD Economic Development Initiative. So we're applied for funding the early learning library in Lake Stevens. This would be funding for construction. And we're really grateful for the support we had from Mayor Galey, Councilmember Dickinson, and Senator Levick, who all submitted letters of recommendation for us for the grant. So that is huge. We really appreciate that support, and we'll let you all know if we receive it. But we're also continuing to support or to pursue other grant opportunities. So hoping this will work out, but we're also just continuing to look for additional funding. All right, so now I'm going to do share screen. Oh, I'm not. Uh-oh, Kelly,
Can I ask a quick question?
Oh yeah, Helen, go for it.
Is that funding like out of a budget that's open to the entire state, or is it just for our county, or is it federal? Like what is it?
It's a federal grant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the federal
That's
HUD.
all I know.
Got
So
it.
if you need more details, let me know and I'll email you.
Just curious. Thanks.
Yeah,
Lindsay, you should be able to. You've got permission.
Okay, great. Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly. Of course I do. Thank you.
Yeah,
I see
no
it
worries.
now.
No worries.
Yeah, an odd computer for me. So I will get this going. All right. Thanks, everyone. Oops. All right. Does everybody see it? Okay, great. So this is a sneak peek of our 2021 community report that will be coming out soon. So we haven't shared this publicly yet, but happy to be able to share it with you all today, and especially because the Lake Stevens community has been such a big part of our year in 2021. So happy to give you a sneak peek. And if you do have any feedback or questions about the report, let me know, because we'd be happy to incorporate your feedback as we move forward. All right, so we want to share in this report the key themes of the Snow Isle story of 2021. So we've been excited to offer customers the opportunity to connect with the library in whatever way works best for them. So you'll see that we welcomed customers back into the library for in-person services. We've increased our access in a variety of ways in different libraries. So opening up things that we used to offer and offering new services like the express lockers at the Monroe and Camino Island libraries. We also are continuing to provide contact-free services. We still have customers who are interested in picking up their holds, whether for convenience or because they don't want to come into the library, but we're happy to support our customers in however they want to access our resources, including our online services. We launched our online programming last year, which has been hugely successful, and we're not going to stop. It's still been very popular, especially for adult programs, and also some of our story times, our online story times have been very popular. Recently, we've started having story times online in other languages as well. So a Spanish online story time has been a big hit, so we're happy to offer that. We also set a new record of our digital checkouts, maybe no surprise there, but we hit 3 million, which is a huge milestone for us and is very good in comparison to other public libraries in Washington State. So we're pretty proud of that number. So this slide shares a little bit of those numbers, Abe, that you were asking about. And if you have additional questions, I'd be happy to either answer them now or follow up with you later. But last year we offered 1,400 online events. We had over 2,000 author event attendees, over 800 children's story times, including those bilingual story times that I mentioned, Korean, Russian, and also Spanish. And we've been providing our library customers with personalized reading recommendations through our library picks service. So we're now serving over 800,000 residents from our 23 libraries and our library on wheels, and have just under 500 employees. I already shared a little bit about our checkouts. In addition to our digital checkouts, we also had 3 million physical items checked out last year. We've been offering our very popular remote printing service. This was another revelation that we had during the pandemic, which is maybe no surprise, but customers really don't want to print their own jobs. They love sending in the print jobs and having library staff print them and pull them together, and they can just swing by and pick them up either in person or contact free. So that's been very popular, and we don't have any plans to sunset that service either. We also, of course, have our Wi-Fi connection from all of our libraries, and then the laptop and Wi-Fi hotspot checkouts that Antoinette was referring to. So as you may be aware, we're primarily funded through our property taxes, but we also pursue grant opportunities. That 3.5% of funding from grants includes the grants that we received for Lake Stevens. And then we have 1.4% funding from other sources. So that's a little complicated, but I can share a little bit about that now. For example, our Darrington Library has a timber tax that contributes to Snow Isle Libraries, and that's how they have library services up in Darrington. So overall, our mission is the same. We want everyone to feel connected to their libraries. Coming out of COVID, that really is our focus, is how can we serve customers where they are, wherever they are, and however they want to be served. So we're really looking at how we can customize and provide that tailored support. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing. Does anybody have any follow-up questions or suggestions on the report? Or Antoinette, if I missed anything, chime in.
I will just make the comment that, you know, having been on this board for, we decided 10 years, I guess now.
Yeah.
Seeing that, that's really an excellent report. I know that, you know, Snow Isle has done reports like this in the past, but that's impressive. And you did a wonderful job. And I mean, the numbers are great. Your presentation was good, and visually it works really well. So congratulations. I think that was the best I've ever seen in terms of a presentation of the kinds of a report of what you've done.
Oh,
And
thanks,
so anyway,
Abe.
yeah,
That's really kind. I'll pass that
serious.
along. I didn't make the PowerPoint, so don't give me any credit.
Okay,
I'll pass that along. It was some folks in our communications department. So I really appreciate that. That means a lot.
Well done. Well done. And so anyway, that's very good to know, especially given the fact of what's been happening for the last couple of years, that kind of success and the way that you've changed and learned. I think that's just terrific. So anyway,
that's the only option, right?
Right. Absolutely. Okay. Helen, do you, I thought I saw your hand up there. Did you have a question?
Less a question, more a comment. I was looking at that 3.4 million electronic checkouts. I think I was at least responsible for 10% of that, but just to reinforce that, really, really appreciate that feature. And I know I've talked to a lot of other people in the community who just in the pandemic era, like, yeah, we're really going to get into the digital resources. So yeah, it's just a tremendous resource that I know that lots of people appreciate.
Yeah. And did I see a hand there from our?
I saw Mary.
Yeah, Mary. There you go.
Well, first of all, yay. I'm very happy with the progress. Don't forget that I'm volunteering to doorbell anytime you want me to. Just don't forget that. I love to doorbell and I love talking to people. But also, I love that you're doing that. They are doing children's stories in other languages. And I'm wondering if they have anyone that could do it in sign language.
Oh, that's a really good question, Mary. We don't have a sign language specific story time, but we do offer translation services as an accommodation when requested. That's another plug. So many things to share with you all. We're about to launch a new accessibility page on our website that has information about how you can request those accommodations, which will be through our regular online chat or email service. So it'll be the same process, but it'll be more explicit and direct people there when they're looking for that. But that's a really great suggestion, Mary. I'll take that back. I think that would be lovely.
Yeah. Wow. Neat idea.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Melissa Mafio.
Yes, great presentation. Really, really easy and clear to read. But how do I get those pages? Would you be able to send that to me? That would be helpful to include in the minute.
So this was like a sneak peek contraband, so I can't send these to you, but I can send you a written summary and then we will be emailing you all. It might even be just a matter of weeks. So it could be, it'll be before the next meeting. I shouldn't even have said any of that. Yeah, we'll get it to you before the next meeting, but it'll probably be a few weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And by the way, Antoinette, maybe I missed something. Typically, I would get an email attachment when I was serving as secretary. So I don't know. Did you send that to Melissa?
Nope, I totally forgot. I will absolutely do it after this meeting. I completely forgot and I'm sorry, but Melissa, you'll have it. It's all written down. I pretty much just read it. So
thank you.
Yeah, that's so easy if she can just attach it to the minutes and that way we got it. Anyway, good. Thank you very, very, very much. Okay, any other questions for the folks from Snow Isle? No comments? Okay. All right. Report from the city. I assume, Russ, are you doing that?
Yep, I'll take care of that today.
Okay.
So hard to imagine, but we're nearing the halfway mark of the year already. So that's meant we're starting to look at budget already. We've had our first budget amendment of the year to just look at actuals. So we went through that process. We just got done with our audit, our financial audit, which came up clean, and another great bit of work from our finance team at the city. And just like Lindsay mentioned, it is the time of year that we're going out for grants. We too have made several requests to our federal delegation for some of the locally funded projects. So to the answer to the question, it is a federal grant. Everyone across the United States can make a request to their delegation. And this is similar to the earmark process that used to be available about 10 years ago, but now they are locally funded project requests. So every representative or senator can sponsor a couple of projects in their district or region. So the city's done that for some transportation projects, for some civic improvement projects, and some environmental projects. Likewise, we've made an application for a historical grant through the state of Washington to help fund a new museum. So we'll see where that goes. And then we've submitted several park grants recently to one. We've been funded for Eagle Ridge, and we'll be submitting grants for Frontier Heights for the next phase of that. And also we have received some funding for our boat moorages at North Cove Park, which is going to be kind of unique. Past that, a lot of staffing changes around the city, some key changes to some important positions at the city, and then just every department has been expanding their staffs and hiring to meet the needs of the community. So beyond that, happy to answer any specific questions that I can from the board today.
I was thinking you might address the decision that was recently made about the property, Chapel Hill. Would you like to talk about that?
So I wouldn't say that there is a decision that's been made at this point, but the city, following our council retreat, was directed to look at some different options for City Hall. And one of those options did include potentially surplusing the property at Chapel and going a different direction. So we're still in an exploratory mode right now, and we are getting appraisals done though on that property and some other properties in the city.
Okay, for the sake of the board, do you understand, board members, what is being said there? I mean, and I'm not making any assumptions. I'm not trying to direct this, and trust me on this. I just want to be clear that there's a possibility of that land will not be used for a city hall or something like that. A possibility. I'm not saying it's a sure thing. I just want to put that out there, that you understand that the portion of the land that at one time was considered for this complex, city complex type thing, together with the library. So anyway, they're looking at other options. I just want to be clear that everybody here understands that's what it's an exploratory thing. Anything else you want to say or questions regarding that?
I would just add, part of our decision making is the same thing that Snow Isle needed to go through with their new facility. It's about budget and competing priorities. So the council, just has asked staff to come back and bring them all possibilities for City Hall location with just different alternatives.
All right. I see a hand there. So Shaylin, would you like to ask?
Yeah, my question is just moving forward with that land, is there thought to making it a public land or making it public services of any kind, or is that when you say it could be sold, does that just go to private that could build anything there? I'm concerned that we're putting a library in the one location and with no understanding of what could be going next to it. Or are there conversations with Snow Isle that, we might not know about, which is fine. I have questions about that piece, and I don't know what you can speak to.
Really, there's not a lot I can answer right now. Again, we're just exploring some alternatives. And if we do end up, or if the council ends up deciding to surplus that, then we'll need to establish zoning for the property and then look at appropriate uses. I can say, though, that the city council has stated, though, at their retreat, that if we were to sell that property, they would like to go through a development agreement process if there's a purchase and sale, so the city could control what the user is on that site and make sure that it's a highest and best use for that site.
Okay. So that does represent some change since the last meeting that we had, and I just want the board to be to understand and to recognize that you know, we were looking at the possibilities of a fairly substantial idea of a one complex that involved both the library and city services. And now, you know, it's like, again, it's not over, it's not said and done, but we could say that the boat is turned towards a different direction at this point in time. Mary, you're a city council, on the city council and our, you know, liaison. Is there anything that you would like to speak to on that? I'm not asking you to, if you don't feel comfortable with it, that's fine.
No, we had an amazing retreat, and I'm glad. Just remember, I'm on council, so you know I will listen to you very strongly. One of the things, I'm speaking to Lindsay now. The Snohomish Conservation District could, as we said in North Carolina, they could help you money-wise if you ask for a grant from them, because one of the designs that Stowe developers came up with totally included the wetlands behind your property. And I don't know how things are going to end any more than anybody does in the city right now as far as the land at Chapel Hill. But know that I think we're going to keep in mind that there's a library there, and you're surrounded by community, and there are some amazing community housing right next to the library for people who are elderly or people that are handicapped. It's right there for them. So I would say let's celebrate what we do know, and let's see what happens next with that last piece. And I'm afraid Mr. Wright knows I won't be quiet, so it's not my style. But I will also want to do what's best for the city.
Yeah.
And you know what will serve the city best. We have a lot of financial needs right now, the food bank and the museum. I mean, if the city owns that land, and if they can do something that would help lift up other parts of the city as well, that'd be a good thing. I sat in on every one of the meetings they had with Stowe developers. Every single one, I was there, taking my mad notes. And the community supports Snow Isle. That was obvious to me, 100%. And so I believe we're going to be okay. But I tend to look to what the good things are, and the good things are progress on the library. And this new library manager is amazing, whatever her name is. She's a long name. She's a very long name. I saw her today. She was having a meeting. I looked in her office and there was no one in there with her. I said, she's not having a meeting, and she was doing it by Zoom. So they said, no, she has a meeting right now. Oh, okay. But no, I'm really happy with so much. And you, the library board, are amazing. And I just think we have a lot of support. And I know our community does too. So let's see what happens next. And Mr. Wright knows I won't be quiet. But I care about the city too. So that's all I got to say.
All right, Shaylin has a question.
I'm sorry, I just need to clarify. Is a community event center or community center of some sort owned by the city hall, something like that, is that completely off the table for that Chapel Hill property? Is the city going in a different direction completely than that for that particular piece of property right now?
Yeah, again, all I can say is no final decisions are made on what's going to happen at that property or with that property.
Okay. And by the way, one of the things I would encourage you, it is time consuming, but if you have time to look at the YouTube videos of the city council meetings, as well as even the retreat, I watched like 5 hours of that stuff. I saw it in fast motion, by the way, which was kind of fun. But anyway, you do get some sense of why certain things are being discussed the way they are, what decisions are being made, and the bigger picture. It's worthwhile to know as a citizen of this city And that's why somebody like Mary can say, I mean, as big as a supporter of libraries that she obviously is, she understands the bigger picture. And so trust me, there are bigger pictures here, but we also want to be champions for the cause that obviously we care about. And that's why we serve on this board. So anyway, we can ask those tough questions, but understand what it all means. So thank you, Russ, for your report. Is there anything else that we have? Questions, comments? Anything else you wanted to say, Russ?
No additional comments from me today. It looks like we have another question.
Yeah, Luann, go right ahead. Whoops, you're muted, Luann, there.
There we are. There we are. Muted?
Yeah, well, you can hear you now.
Oh. Is there any kind of a time frame we're looking at for this decision-making process?
Probably by the end of this summer, we'll have a good idea.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Good
you.
to know. Yeah.
Good question. All right, good. All right. So we accept those reports. Thank you very much for that report. And trust me, Russ, I know it's not the easiest thing in the world to have to do. So with that, I like to go around the horn if there are any board comments related to things that you would like to say, report upon. It can be a compliment, it can be whatever, it could be another question related to what we have. Board comments, I'll go around the horn. Anybody want to have anything to say or questions? Looks like we're clear. All right.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is Shaylin. I was just going to say that that the library cards the partnership cards that Snow Isle is doing with the schools has been great, and the information that came out as in the mailings, to households was just spot on, and it was just so simple to for my kids to just walk through and sign themselves up. And so then they are able to double down on those electronic resources where they get, they have access at school, and then they have access through Snow Isle, and it's a huge one. So thank you for Snow Isle for pursuing that in Lake Stevens and making that happen for those students. Thank you. Yeah,
that's great. Anybody else on the board have any comments? Anything, questions you want to? All right. In closing, I would just want to throw this out that I am very glad and it makes me very hopeful that there was the negotiation, and whatever had to happen, I was not given insight into what happened for there to be some agreement between the city and Snow Isle in terms of moving forward with the considerations that we had in our last meeting, that we're all settled and we're moving forward, especially given that we will have a new library finally in Lake Stevens. So I just want to say how glad I am, both for the city and to Snow Isle, for coming together. And again, I don't have any particular insights into how all that happened, but I'm glad that it did. And so congratulations to both of you. All right, with that, if there are no other things, I think that we can adjourn. For this, let's do it official. Is there a motion to adjourn? Anybody want to do that? I don't care who. Speak up.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Leanne makes that. Okay, is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, Andy Powers is the second. So there you go, Melissa. And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so none opposed. We adjourn our next meeting. What is that, July? I guess it is. Anyway, you'll get the information. And in the meantime, I am probably going to be reaching out to you a little bit more in the days to come, because I really would like to talk with each and every one of you about what your hopes and dreams are for the library locally, and what we can do as a board. So that will be coming in the weeks and months to come. We've got a lot of time between now and our next meeting. So thank you all. And that being the case, I'll say good night.
Have a good
Good
night.
night. Thank
guys.
you.
Bye, everyone. Good to see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Lindsay, I like that cute little face in the background.